this is awkward.
Halt, Zagreus. Not one step further.
Come on, Meg. Haven't we had more than enough of each other by now? Besides, don't you have someplace else to be?
Your father sent me. All in all, I'd rather be on your bad side than his. Now you can turn back, like a good little man, or I can send you home the painful way. What'll it be?
I'll have to go with the painful way.
A man after my own heart. Impossible.
I'm here, Meg.
Ever stubborn, aren't you? Maybe my whip might make you reconsider whatever it is that you're attempting here.
Your whip's not been all that persuasive in the past.
Maybe persistence will pay off for both of us. Come then.
Moaning? What do you have?
We each have our commitments to this house, Megaera. There is no shame in yours. And whilst your sisters are away, you bear their burden of responsibility as well.
I understand. It's just... Am I supposed to keep pretending nothing's changed? This house is cracking at the seams, and no one's going to admit it?
The house shall stand eternally. Although in what condition, it is ours to decide. Our obligation is to keep the house in order.
I know. You're right, of course you're right. I'll do my best. I'll do my best for both our sakes, Nix.
Hello, Meg.
Tell me something, Zag, because I'm curious. Do your Olympian relatives know the real reason you've been trying to escape?
I'll get around to that in due time. They're family. They'll understand, no doubt.
You're in over your head, you idiot. You'll fray what bonds are left between Lord Hades and those ingrates on Olympus.
Hey, what's that you're drinking, Meg? Anything good?
Whatever it is, it's weak. Enough to be mistaken for your blood.
Nice. Well, I'll just leave you to it then.
Leave me alone.
Hey, Meg. I thought I'd better hand this over.
I'll confiscate that if you really want. Although I'm warning you, I'm not susceptible to bribes. Many have tried.
Hey, I'm just handing over contraband to the appropriate authorities. Think nothing of it, Meg. Just doing our jobs, right? Can't get rid of me, Meg.
That mirror's made you stronger, Zagreus. You're fortunate to have Nyx helping you.
No hard feelings. I think she feels partly responsible for all of this.
She shouldn't. The only one responsible for all of this is you. And I thought even you would have understood that by now. What do you want from me? Leave me alone. We've nothing to discuss here anymore.
I was just checking up on you. Just let me know if you wanted to talk for any reason.
I'm not interested in having company, especially from you. You stay the hell away while I'm off duty. You're serious? You're really giving that to me? I mean, I'll take it off your hands if that is really what you want.
It's really what I want. And I sincerely hope we can move past our differences. Not that turning in this contraband has anything to do with that.
Zagreus, please tell me that the rumors are untrue. You really vanquished him? Have you completely lost your mind? You're going to destroy this blasted house.
Come on, Meg. Father had it coming for some time. What's your concern besides? The house is safe.
He's not going to take this lying down. He'll find some way to take it out on you, on all of us. You watch yourself or all of us will pay.
I will not let that happen.
What are you doing here? I heard you finally made it out. What, did you break out of here only to die in some pathetic way on the surface?
Long story, but yeah. Boils down to what you said, more or less.
So you're going back out there again? Well, it's your business, not mine. For your sake, I hope it's worth it.
It is.
Flattery won't get you anywhere. We can't go back to how things used to be.
Flattery never got me anywhere with you to begin with, Meg. Doesn't mean I won't keep trying. I am ever stubborn, aren't I?
My sisters and I, we've had a chance to talk and we have come to an agreement, Zagreus. As you can see.
Megaera, Tiss, you ready? Murderer.
3 against 1. Doesn't seem all that sporting now, does it?
We're each well past the need for any sport. We'll kill you, whatever it takes. Air knees, now. But that was then and this is now, and we have work to do. Anyway, Thin, I think we'd best continue this discussion at some other time.
You're interrupting private conversations, Agrius. Leave us.
No, let him stay if that's what he wants. What does it matter? He's technically allowed within these halls, but he must know he isn't welcome anymore.
Meg? Meg. Oh, I was not expecting company. Were you just casually snooping, or is there something I can help you with?
I was just leaving Zagreus. Happened to be in the area, no thanks to you, and thought I'd go retrieve the last of my possessions. I have to say, you've really let this place go to hell.
She left. Great. Wonderful. I guess we'll just go back to killing each other repeatedly then. Got you some more of that contraband you like? Don't suppose I could help you put it away or anything?
Look at me, Zag. You think that all these gifts will make things go back to the way they were? They won't. It isn't possible. We may be immortals, but we're older now.
I'd hope we're wiser too. Hi, Meg.
So... Ugh, I almost want to thank you, Zagreus. I thought you'd never change that blasted pact and leave me here in peace.
What, you mean you aren't lonely or without Electo's or Tisiphone's companionship? They seem so wonderful to have around.
They're tolerable each to some extent. About as much as I can say for you. Now let's the two of us begin.
Oh well.
I have to level with you, Zagreus. For all we've been through, never once have I wanted you to meet my sisters.
Can't imagine why not. We had a lovely time getting to know each other. We laughed, we cried. My only regret was that you couldn't be there yourself.
You don't know what you're saying. There's a reason that they're not permitted in the house. Oh, come on. One of us is going back there now. Gotta tell you something, Zagreus. I'm not getting any more used to losing to you like this. I mean, you don't even stop to rub it in. You know how humiliating that is.
Wait, you're saying you would feel less ashamed about the outcomes of our fights if I were to gloat more about beating you? How does that make any sense?
You know what doesn't make any sense? That you keep beating me. I must be getting sloppy if I'm that predictable. Too bad none of the other wretches I have to deal with put up much of a fight.
I'll keep putting up a fight if it's any consolation.
And so, who else is there to be depended on? You are a trusted overseer, Megaera. Your station is no accident, and there is no one better fit for what you do. I urge you to look inwardly. How you approach your work is vital to the end result.
Thank you for the advice, Nyx. I don't know what I'd do without you. Or what this house would be if not for you.
I bet Tisiphone's up. Guess I was wrong.
So... You've really done it, Zagreus. My sisters have returned. All three of us now share the same assignment.
Is it wrong of me that I'm somewhat honored to have garnered the attention of the Erinys?
Oh, I would say it's very wrong of you indeed.
Meg, did you ever meet the Queen? Remember anything about her at all?
It was not my place to address her. I barely ever saw her. Then at some point, I never saw her again. And unlike you, I know better than to get involved in things that are none of my business.
How is it that this place has this secret queen for I don't know how long, then suddenly she just vanishes and no one speaks a word of it?
None of my business, I said.
Megaera, I have to ask you something, please. We really need to talk.
For once, I think you're right. Although I'm curious, what is it that you think we have to talk about?
I still have feelings for you. At least, I think I do. Isn't there some way for us to, work through all of this?
In spite of everything that's happened, and that's happening right now, what are the outcomes, Zagreus? Either you eventually succeed and leave this place, or else what, exactly?
I haven't thought that far ahead. But I don't think it has to be this way. I don't hate you, Meg. I don't think I can ever hate you.
Despite my best intentions. Unfortunately, I don't know that I can say the same. Look, I'm at a very difficult point in my career. I need to focus on that now. Do we understand each other?
I think so. Oh well.
I heard that you escaped. Then what are you still doing here? Forget something along the way?
You know, I think I'd rather fight you to the death again than try to answer either of those questions right now.
I don't know what you're up to, Zagreus, but I guess it doesn't matter either way. All that matters is you're not getting past me. Zagreus?
Forget another something in my bedchambers there, Meg.
No, we need to talk again. My sisters are involved now in all this. You've really stirred up quite a mess.
I know. I'm sorry, but this is something that I have to do. You wouldn't understand.
You wouldn't know. What I'm trying to say is, with my sisters involved, it changes things. Takes some of the pressure off of me.
Some of the pressure? Wait, what are you going to do?
I'm saying I know you're doing what you have to do here, Zagreus. And my sisters and I will always try to stop you. But I'm only doing it because I have to. Understand?
Meg. She...
Ambrosia. You know the penalty for attempting to sway an overseer of the House of Hades with foreign contraband, don't you?
I can't entirely say I do, though if it involves lashings and whatnot, I already get more than my share of that, so figured I would take the risk. So what do you say?
I say hand over the damn bottle. I'll see that it's disposed of properly. Now, as for you, you wouldn't know who misplaced something like this, would you? On my authority as overseer. Hang on to it. Though if you tell so much as anyone.
Wow. I'll cherish her. You and your sisters really don't get along well, do you?
Alecto and Tisiphone and I each have a different outlook, I would say. We've learned mostly to stay out of one another's way.
That doesn't sound like a healthy basis for a relationship between siblings.
Are you lecturing me about healthy relationships with family, Zagreus? Your family, your father's family, is the most broken and corrupted in the history of the entire concept.
Fair point. I didn't mean to sound like I had any meaningful advice there, Meg. We're stuck with our bloodlines and our relatives, aren't we?
Your family cut their Titan parents into pieces and then scattered them in Tartarus. Remember that when next you tell me about family.
We meet again.
Hold it, Zagreus. I sense something. Is that... Ah. You've been in contact with Chaos. So even they are now involved with this.
Just because Chaos is giving me the power to crush you doesn't mean they're getting involved with this, does it?
You don't know who or what you're dealing with. Ask Nyx about them for me sometime. Here, I'll give you a chance to ask her very soon. We got off on the wrong foot from the start. Just what happens when you're born of Titan blood, I guess. It's for the best we haven't crossed paths much since.
But they're your sisters. I mean, they're family. You must have something in common, some way of, I don't know, seeing eye to eye.
You're more my sister than they are to me, Dusa. I don't always agree with Lord Hades, but I'm thankful that they're not permitted in this house.
Hey, look, I understand. I really do.
How's my little baddie doing, Zach? The one I gave you? Was just a little pup. I figure she'd be better off with you. Please tell me I was right.
Batty's doing great, Meg. Reminds me of you every time I think of her. Helps keep me company throughout my little jaunts outside. So you've a thing for bats, then?
That's good. And yes, the bats around here, they and I have always shared an understanding, you could say. I usually care for the pups myself. But Batty, she seemed more your style.
That she is.
Just so I understand. Breaking through everything in your path, taking resources from your father's realm, trying to get through me. All officially part of the job description.
I guess that's right. But before you ask, I'm not doing it for him.
I didn't think you'd have it in you to leave this place for good. But I didn't think you'd take responsibility for anything either. Anyway, we'll just have to kill each other more officially, I guess.
We'll make it official, all right. I had this awful contraband I wanted to turn in as soon as possible, if you don't mind taking it from me, Meg.
You still have no idea how to be upfront with me, do you, Zag? Why don't you tell me why you're here and what you want?
So the whole contraband thing, you aren't buying it, I guess. Although I see you took the bottle there now anyway. I wanted just to talk to you. And patch things up, maybe.
Patch things up? What is it, by your estimation, that could use repairs between the two of us?
I was naive. I tried not to get too close, but then I did and said a lot of stupid things, and then... Well, we've since tried to kill each other lots of times, there's that. Look, I'm sorry, Meg.
You said a lot of stupid things, all right. And we Furies, we're not much for forgiveness or apologies. But I can see you're making an attempt. Now thank you for the contraband. Goodbye.
Hey there, Meg.
Your mother has returned to us already, Zacharias. And still you're going to keep battling your way out, past me and everything up there. Why?
Father says there's no escape from here, and I like to repeatedly show him he's wrong. Besides, I think getting out there a bit from time to time does me some good.
Sounds like you found yourself a steady line of work. Most jobs just need doing. If this one gives you some fulfillment, stick to it. Now come on. I never thought I'd see the Queen again. I still can't quite believe she's back. And staying? Is that really your doing?
It's her doing, not mine. So you know her. Because you could have told me about her, who she was to me.
Don't know her all that well. But I do know Nyx. And I've been bound to secrecy as part of my oath to this house. I flay oath breakers and liars, Zacharias. Wouldn't do for me to be no better than them now, would it?
No, I suppose not. So what does this mean for Nyx now that she's back? Or for you, for that matter?
The Queen always gave Nyx her space. Your father, though. I don't know what it'll be like for him if she decides to stick around this time.
Hope to find out. Here, Meg. Contraband. I wish I could do over how we started.
I, too, wish for a lot of things. Unfortunately, there's no unraveling the fate's patterns. We can learn from our mistakes or keep repeating them. That's it.
What if I've learned from my mistakes? Have I ever done anything to hurt you since we've been like this? Discounting the unavoidable and frequent fights to the death.
There's nothing you can do to hurt me, Zach. It's just a question of whether you're worth my time.
Well, am I worth your time then, Meg?
You know... Let me get back to you on that. I need a little time to think it through.
I see. Take all the time you need. I'm back, Meg.
I can't believe it. You signed the pact of punishment. Have you completely lost your mind, or just trying to insult me?
Well, if you're going to be so rude about it, maybe a little of each. Though what do you even care which pacts I sign or don't?
I'm not an idiot. I see what you're doing. You want to be punished? Then come on.
Electo's really something else. She must have been a real handful, huh?
My youngest sister takes a lot of pleasure from her work. I've learned something of that from her. But that's as far as we relate, I think.
She could learn a thing or two from you, I'm sure. About having a little common decency, perhaps.
She won't be learning anything from me. The contempt you get from her is unconditional. I learned not to take it personally.
I see. Hey, Meg, you're off duty, aren't you? Look, I was just hoping you might want to split this with me. Best if I could find out there, and I would give it all to you. It's just... maybe you wouldn't mind some company. From me.
You sound a little tongue-tied, Zacharias. Just like you always used to around me.
You're not exactly easy to approach, you know. So, how about it then? Care for a drink with me?
Open it up and we can go from there. You should have seen the look on your face. You act a lot more confidently now. Though, I think deep down you're still that inexperienced little godling that you used to be.
And I think deep down you're not the heartless harbinger of retribution that you want for everyone to think you are. But I can keep your secret if you're willing to keep mine. What do you say?
That sounds an awful lot like blackmail, Zacharias. You'd stoop to that with me?
No, I was just... that's not what I meant at all.
I just want to see you squirm. Thanks for the company and for the drink. Guess I'll be seeing you around.
Yeah, Thanks. Hello, Meg.
This should be over pretty quickly, I think, Zach. Never took you for the forced overtime type. That's not a packed condition for the faint of heart.
You wound me, Meg. You know I like to barge into situations thoughtlessly and recklessly and sort everything out later. Forced overtime's the perfect fit.
Well, when you put it that way. Look, don't go saying I didn't warn you. They can't be reasoned with Nyx. You know that. What use are they to us trying to manage this? They'll make things worse.
They are your sisters. They are part of your life, whether you like it or not. Your relationship with them is yours to mold.
I'm afraid there isn't much for me to work with. You have a lot more faith in them than I do.
I have a lot more faith in you, Megaera. There are many obstinate personalities with whom we regularly interact. Thus, we do what is possible.
I understand.
Can't get rid of me, Meg.
Your weapon's looking rather dull there, Zacharias. Great Daedalus decided not to grace you with his gifts this time around.
Now that you mention it, he hasn't, no. Though I'm prepared to say I don't need special augmentations to get past you.
Oh, we can put that to the test right now. Just remember, you need all the help you can get. So you cleared out some of the satyr infestation near the surface then? How come the change of heart? Not like you to assist Lord Hades in such things.
I wasn't trying to do my father any favors, Meg. Those satyrs seem to hate me just as much as him. My one way out involves a detour straight into their dens.
An interesting coincidence. At any rate, that's one less problem for the rest of us to deal with. Until the satyrs all come back at least, which won't be long.
I suppose not.
Come here.
Meg, what a surprise. Again. What is it? What's the matter? Wait, why are you looking at me like that?
Zacharias, would you shut up with your idiotic questions and get over here right now?
You really... Oh. I thought you'd never ask, but I'm glad you did. Wow. Meg, what I'm trying to say is, are we good? Or...
Stop being insecure around me, Zach. You should know better than that by now. Though yes, if you must know, I think we're good. But if you tell another living soul, or even a dead one, I will kill you. Understand?
Loud and clear, Meg, yes, I understand. So then, what happens now?
What happens now? I'll see you at the edge of Tartarus, I guess. Or maybe here, however long we keep this up.
However long we keep this up?
You ask too many questions, Zag. I don't have the answers, and besides, you know more about living in the moment than I do. See you around.
Hi, you two.
Prince Zagreus, you are trespassing beyond the limits of your authority. I am under orders to stop you.
Come on, Meg, why so formal all of a sudden? We've been through this countless times. Wait, is it because...
Oh, come on, Zag. Will you just learn to play along for once? Come on and fight me like you mean it. You sure that you're alright with everything? I wouldn't want you to be caught up in the middle of all this. If you so much as said to call it off.
No, Meg, no, Meg, come on. No, are you kidding me? I mean, I couldn't be happier about it, really. You deserve this, as long as you're happy yourself, right?
Well, thank you, Dusa. You've always been so kind. I don't quite know what to say.
Hey, now, that's my line. Look, though, I better get going, but I just want to say this is great news, all right? Thank you for telling me.
You're right. And same to you.
Hello, Fury Sisters.
Ready, Tess. How many times have we been going at it like this, Zagreus? You tired of me yet?
We're both immortals, Meg. We'll be seeing plenty of each other for a while yet. I've come to welcome these occasions.
Then good. Lashing you across the face beats waiting for the opportunity to do so. May I help you, Zagreus? Well, Zag, you like things nice and complicated, don't you? Apparently, so do I.
If you're asking if I have any regrets about what happened between us, the answer is no. Being with you, any complications there are worth it.
You don't need to tell me. 2 rules if you want to keep this up. First, we set the personal aside when we're out there. I better not hear a soul say I'm going soft on you. And second, keep up this slightly more mature thing you've had going for you recently.
Wasn't planning on sliding back into the insensitive nonsense of youth, so I don't think the second thing will be a problem. But the first, can we really just keep killing each other out there like nothing happened?
Guess you'll find out. Oh, Zagreus, how's it going with that pact of punishment you signed? You've made some meaningful improvements to the underworld.
I'll fight my way out of this place or earn it. Pact is nothing to me other than a way to keep things lively.
You are delusional. I'll never understand you or your father. Anyway, if you're looking for more punishment, you know where to find me.
Hi, you two.
There you are. Ugh, would you just look at him? That smug look, that posture, everything. Please tell me you're not going soft for this trash god sister.
Come on, Electo. When was the last time that we looked to one another for approval? Besides, as long as we kill him, what do you even care?
You know, fair point there, sister. Very nicely said. Let's kill him now!
We meet again.
What is it, Zagreus? You look a little hesitant to go another round with me. Or is it my imagination?
Well, it's just, can we really keep the personal and the professional completely separate like this, Meg? It's with mixed emotions that I fight you to the death, only to be happy to see you back at the house.
Then learn to keep your emotions in check. You keep them bottled up a while, they'll be that much stronger when it's time to let them out. I think I understand now, Nyx. You've been here longer than the rest of us combined. You've seen this house go through a lot. Even before Lord Hades took his place. I never should have doubted you.
To doubt is an important instinct, Megaera. Without it, we could not conceive of better circumstances than the ones we know. Besides, I am the knight. Others shall always doubt me. You may doubt me again. I ask only that you heed well your intuitions from now on.
I will. I promise, Nyx. And if there's anything you ever need that I can do, well, please, just ask of me.
I do know where to find you, Megaera.
Hope I didn't keep you waiting, ladies.
See, Electo. He is right on time, just as I said.
Megaera, bleed him.
I'm back, ladies.
Heads up to Tiffany. I think I found a murderer for you.
Hi, you three.
What's the matter, Zagreus? You look a bit uncomfortable. Something you want to say to me? Or any one of us?
Well, it's just, there's something that I wanted to discuss with you at some point, Meg, but after more consideration, I'm thinking maybe now is not the time.
I understand entirely. Though you should know my sisters and I keep no secrets from each other anymore. Isn't that right, sisters?
What do you think of all the lounge decor there, Meg? Looking a little better these days, wouldn't you say?
You know, it isn't bad. Though I have heard the strangest thing. That you're responsible for all of this. I couldn't understand why you would even bother, honestly.
Well, it's a popular locale for off-duty underworld officers to take a load off between shifts, and so I figure least I could do is pitch in and make the place a little better than I left it, right?
How very selfless of you, Zagreus. Soon, doubtless, it'll be your portrait hanging on that wall back there.
Oh, now, let's not get ahead of ourselves, Meg.
Look at this awful piece of trash come here again to bleed all over our nice shiny floor. Ready to fight my lovely sister there, Redblood?
He's not so awful once you get to know him, sis. Not that it matters for what we're about to do.
The both of you disgust me, Meg, you know that? Get it together and kill him this time, damn you!
Nyx, you'd tell me if I made a terrible mistake, or even just a bad one, wouldn't you? I need your guidance on this one. Or maybe your approval.
You shall always be the best determiner of what is right about such matters, Megaera. Though if you seek my blessings or encouragement in this particular pursuit, please rest assured, you have them both. You know the way from here.
I hope that you're right. You always have been, it's just that I wish I had your confidence in this.
Oh, hello.
You know Batty's not going to work here, don't you? I'm definitely not going to help you out of this one.
Come on, Meg, you can do anything if you set your mind to it. Though, don't worry, Batty's just here for the show.
Then let's make it a good one.
Hello, Fury Sisters.
Your little bat companion not too much to handle, is she, Zagreus? I trust you're taking excellent care of her. Not that she needs your help.
Oh, she's been positively perfect, thank you, Meg. Especially in how she puts us into contact when I need a hand. I hope it's not too much hassle helping out from time to time.
If you were hoping to avoid a hassle, you've definitely come to the wrong place.
So, about Tisiphone, is, everything alright with her? Talk of murder all the time and all.
Tisiphone is charged with punishing the worst that mortals have to offer. More than charged. Her work is everything to her.
No time for family or recreation, then, I take it. Pity what happens to those overly obsessed with work.
I get what you're insinuating, Zagreus. I'm nothing like her. Not even close. And don't you dare compare the two of us again.
Hi, you two.
Things can't entirely be different between you and me. You know that, don't you, Zag? Not when it comes to this, at least.
I do. We wouldn't both be consummate professionals if it were any other way. You won't be going easy on me, will you?
I'm going to pretend you didn't ask me that. Now give me everything you've got.